night. Did you ever see the movie Sound of Freedom?
I saw the beginning of it, but
Oh my God.
Jackie's been wanting me to watch it. I couldn't sit through it. It was boring.
I was sitting in my room watching it by myself, actually emotional, thinking about this man quit his job. He found rescued one kid, and the little boy explained to him that his sister was still in captivity.
Oh, you're talking about a different movie. I was talking
Yes.
about
It's about child trafficking.
I was talking about the newest one. No, I was talking about the disaster movie. No, okay.
Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's on Amazon Prime. And Jim Caviezel, who I love, you know who that is?
No.
He's the guy that played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ.
Okay.
He's a great actor. He's
Yeah.
also in The Count of Monte Cristo. He's Edmond Dantes.
Yeah.
So he plays the main guy. And this man, I looked him up after, took what you're saying so far. I was like emotional in my room by myself, like getting choked up watching him. He's a great portrayal, and they show the real guy at the end. He rescued this little boy. He worked for a federal agency, rescued a little boy, and then the little boy told him about his sister that was still in captivity, maybe 10 years old. The guy gets permission from his field office to go down to South America. Then they tell him, no, you have to come back. You've been there too long. You rescued 50 kids. You didn't find this specific girl. You have to come back. What do you think he says to them?
I gotta find them.
Yeah, I don't care. They're like, you're 6 months from retiring full pension, or you're 6 months from having your full pension enacted. And he's like, I don't care, I quit. And he stays there. And he has to find this girl. It's like, and what he does, I won't tell it to you, but it's almost unbelievable how far this guy goes to get this girl back. And it's all out of, he just needs, he sees an injustice and he has to help, right? So I'm not saying everyone has to go to that level, but I'm saying the way this guy must have. There's a thing about in the movie about how they feel when they save these kids, and they hear the kids playing music like drums and singing, and the guy says, "That's the sound of freedom." How does that make you feel? You gave that kid freedom. That's where the title comes from, and I just remember thinking, I have so much respect for this guy. Like, this is one of the best people I could possibly look up to. Selfless person who just has to help. This is, I think, and how good he must have felt in that moment, saving these children from slavery, basically. And they say at the end of the movie, there's more slaves today in human trafficking than ever before in the world. Ever. When slavery was legal, there's more today. Way more. And millions of them are children. So, just this service, right? That's where I'm going with it. You know, you see what?
So, what I would say is that this movie, if it's as good as you say
It's
it
unbelievable.
it's very important for.
It's a true story too.
It's very important for legacy, because if somebody else watches this movie and decides that they want to live their life this way, then number one, there's the remembering part of legacy. Number two, there's the huge success part of legacy, because you don't really have. You don't really get remembered unless you do something incredible.
This was incredible.
Right? And now you have the betterment of society because you're influencing other people with your legacy to do good.
Yeah.
Even if it's not saving children from child trafficking, just the goodness
Yeah.
of him foregoing his pension in 6 months to save some kids that are enslaved. It's inspiring to people, and that's what legacy is all about.
It was so inspiring. I mean, I was sitting there watching, and there was a weird spiritual thing in that movie too. Like the brother gave him, like, first he saved the brother, and this kid was like 8 or 9, and the brother gave him a necklace that the sister had given when they were like in captivity, and on the back of the necklace, like, is the guy's name in Spanish. Like, what are the fucking chances? Like. And, like, this name in Spanish is, like, the protector of children. And that was the guy's name. Like it's like a cosmic... He was, like, meant to help those kids. And, I don't know, you got to find what you're meant to do. That's my point. He couldn't not do it. He didn't care about anything else. He didn't care about his pension. He was focused on one thing. He had to do it. He had a drive to do it. And he did it. In an almost unbelievable way. It's unbelievable if you see how he got her back. You got to watch it.
So let's go back to one of our favorite conversations, which is about the choices that you make in your life, right? Because you asked me what it means to lose, right? I believe that there are winners and there are losers. And these are 100% self-determined attributes that nobody else can give you or take away from you. And if you say to somebody that they're a loser, that's not very nice of you, and that's not bettering society in any way. Maybe you think that it's tough love, and maybe that'll give them a positive experience in the end. But really, you can judge that to protect yourself. But really, the person has to be the one that judges whether they're a winner or a loser. And you ask me what a loss is. I think a loss is when you spiral out of control, your emotions take hold of you, and you can't get out of bed. And maybe you're not a loser because of that. But if you can't get out of bed because you're so depressed about something, then that's a loss. That's a big loss. And you know what? If you can't suffer through whatever pain life is giving you and move ahead, like, look, you have cancer, people beat cancer. And I'm not saying that all cancers can be beaten. I'm just saying that people who win will beat cancer, and people who lose, a lot of times they get down on themselves and they feel like there's no hope, and it gives them way less of a chance of beating the cancer. And I'm not saying nothing like, oh, they deserve to die, blah, blah. No, I'm not saying that. Everybody deserves to live. But I am saying that they're not stacking the deck in their favor when they believe that they're going to die.
That's right. Absolutely. Look at, who's the bike guy? Armstrong? Lance Armstrong. Do you ever see Dodgeball?
Yes.
At the end, I think it's Dodgeball at the end when he doesn't want to go to the tournament, and Lance Armstrong's like, oh, yeah.
I beat testicular cancer and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he's like, I remember when I had testicular, brain, bone cancer, and I still won the marathon, but I'm sure you got your reasons. Yeah. Don't do it. Yeah. So, right, exactly. Who's the winner, right? Like, it's about an attitude. Everything we're talking about is about a mental attitude, mental fortitude, mental toughness. And I think that we're really under attack on this in this country, right? Look at academia. It is broken down to the dumbest people now run Harvard and our top institutions. Like, America, what happened? How do we let this happen? Like, we have to start having positivity in our country and not all this negativity. And I just don't see, I love the answer on losing, because you're absolutely right. For me, it's a loss when I let my emotions take over and I lose control, even if it's just, yelling or anything.
When you lose control of your reality and you're shut down, you lost.
Right. That's 100%.
And I'll never lose. I'll never lose.
The best feeling, if you, like you were talking about before, if you have a girlfriend and she's flipping out, is to remain stoic. There's a reason that stoicism is really a man's philosophy, I believe. Of course,
Marcus Aurelius wrote about it, right?
Right. Like women and Seneca, and it was, but there's something about keeping your cool, which is always going to make you feel better in the end. So that is a loss. And it's also something you have to practice in the moment. When you feel yourself get angry, you have to give yourself a split second to tell yourself not to overreact. If you just react to emotion, I agree, this is a loss. What else did you say was a loss? You gave a couple good examples. I like them all, whatever they were.
I think it was just that one, that if you're not better today than you were yesterday.
Better than you were yesterday, if you're not helping people. And I like how none of our wins or losses that we went over are like, I cashed a check.
I made $1 million.
Yeah. No, that's not your wins and losses in any way. So I agree.
It is exactly what it is, though. That might be a payment that you receive because you wanted something else.
Yeah.
Like if people love you so much that they're giving you thousands or millions or hundreds or whatever dollars to do something for them, and they choose you to do that.
That's right.
Then the win is not the money. The win is them choosing you.
That's right. That's right.
And if more people choose you today than yesterday, then you won.
Right. The win is almost like, if you're looking at it from because we both come from a sales background, is like the initial sale is like the win. Like when the person like agrees that they like you, because there's a certain thing about doing business with someone. You know this better than anyone. Like if you're friendly with these people and they choose to be your friend on a business level, if that makes sense to anyone that's in business, they'll understand what I mean. Like not just you talk to this person when there's something to update them on a deal, but you have a more friendly relationship with them, even though it's really you're just doing a deal together. But you care, right? You care. You take time to ask them questions, personal questions, and when they choose you, that's the win. It's not the check at the end.